Hey everybody, we have breaking news. Google is going all in on AI. They have taken over their own homepage to promote their new AI mode. It doesn't have to be a yes or no question. When you look at who Google is, they're a search company first and foremost. They're a data company. Now they're making a big push into AI. Why now? Well, because they have to. Microsoft has been pushing them. Microsoft, of course, has been integrating AI into Bing. I remember when the Google Bard was announced, we saw a little blip here of the Google logo in the corner. And then we haven't really heard much about it until now. And now we're seeing a big push into AI. We've seen that. And this has caused Google to start thinking seriously about AI for the first time in a long time. They have to be. Microsoft is breathing down on their neck. When you look at Google, they've made a lot of acquisitions in the past. They've made a lot of big bets, and many of these bets have not worked out. Will this AI bet work out? That remains to be seen. If we look at the stock here, we can see Microsoft creeping up. Of course, Google had a great run last year, we can see that. But this year, not so much. And Microsoft is kind of having a better year. They're up 23% versus the S&P is up 16%. You get an answer back. And then we have some more examples here of text-to-image generation. A photo of a delicious cheeseburger. There's the image. And Google is feeling the pressure. They're feeling the pressure from Microsoft. And that's why we're seeing them make this big push into AI, but eventually is not good enough when you're dealing with giant corporations like Microsoft and others. You need to perform now. That's why we're seeing this big push. The problem for Google is they don't really have anything concrete to show. They've been working on this AI for a long time, but it's not nearly as good as what we've seen from competitors. They're going all in. It's why they're promoting it on their homepage. It's why they're getting rid of the logo. They're putting the logo in the corner. Now we're seeing this big push. So I think it's very clear that they're going all in on AI, and that's why we're seeing them fall behind. But now they're making a big push. Now this is really interesting because Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, just got done testifying in front of Congress about AI, and he said that AI is not a priority for Google. That was his quote. Of course, this is right after Microsoft has just leapfrogged them in terms of market cap. An expressive oil painting of a blue horse running through a field. Boom, there's the image. This is all generated by the Google AI. If we go to Google, it simply says, get started with AI mode. And if we click on that, it takes us to this page where we can use our voice to search Google. So we're seeing a lot of different things here. We're seeing text to image generation. Your stock is down today. We've talked about that. They're down 9% year to date. And investors are nervous about what the future holds for Google with all of this AI stuff. So we'll see what happens. We're seeing a lot of things that are very ChatGPT-like. If we scroll down, we see a demo of the conversational AI. So they're basically showing you how it works. You ask it a question. So what does this mean? It means that Google is getting serious about AI. In the past, Google has kind of been like, AI is not that important, and that's why they kind of fell behind. And so we're seeing this big push from Google. I do find this to be very interesting that Google is now promoting this heavily. What does this mean for the future of Google? Well, I think it shows that they're serious about AI. This is what happens when you have a strong competitive landscape. Sundar Pichai said something along the lines of, we will get there eventually. The other thing is, well, we don't know if this is going to work out. But I think it's very clear that Google is getting serious about AI. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Be blessed.